So this is Baruch Fleischman here, and I'm at the beginning shir today, which is very short. It's on the Sifra Tzniuta. Now, I realize that these shiurim that we're doing really are just for the purpose of, well, that I put them out on the internet for a few, very few people who could plug into this. Very, very few. This is not mass limud. I see all kinds of beautiful books and ideas that come on the internet that are referring to Kabbalah. But to actually learn the Kabbalah and see what's going on over here, if you're doing that, if you're one of the few people that listen to these shiur regularly, you're a Makubal. Because that's all it's about. It's about learning how to apply these ideas. It gets more specific. I should do this. Let me do it right now in front of you. If you have a question about anything that I write, and you could communicate with me at Bobby and Sharon 68 at gmail.com. Okay, there it is, Bobby. Can you read my handwriting? That's how it is. Bobby and Sharon 68 at gmail.com. Send me an email. We could communicate that way. And if you have questions about this, really the main thing is really to have some conversation in this direction. It brings down a tremendous amount of bracha for all of us. Now, before you could really understand what we're going to be learning today, I made another little list here. You have to excuse my writing. It's just not the world's greatest, and I write it in English because that's the way I am. I was never I'm really pretty much self-educated. That's a great thing about the Torah. The Torah was given in the desert, so therefore anybody can get it, and even including me. So I write in English. The thing we really want to talk about is the tikkun. The tikkun has to do with the shvira. These are two words that you need to know. One is the concept of the attempt of Hashem is attempt of beginning and breaking, beginning and breaking, beginning and breaking, and the ultimate break that takes place here is called the Shvira. It means that the Kedusha was lost. That is, that the light of the Ein Sof is lost within the Klipos. So what happens? The Tikkun has to start. The first Tikkun takes place at the beard of an entity called Eric Anpin. Now the Tikkun involves what's called Birurim. Imagine in your own mind that you're in a place of great light, and the vessel that held the light, intelligent light. The light of really understanding and being close and of love and all the things which are really true of unity and oneness. All the greatest powers of goodness. And you're there in that light, but the kli that holds the light breaks. Then the particles of light fall out away from the core, and they have to be brought back. The bringing back, they're called birurim, which means birur is like to refine out. Takes something, so refined out of the process begins of a birur. Now this process takes place from a place inside of a parts of the beginning of a parts of which was set in motion. What's a parts of? A parts of is a system for limiting light. It's a system for limiting light because the light of the Ein Sof is a light of nothingness, and we are definitely something. We're flesh and blood. So how do you go from nothing to flesh and blood? Well, that's a great topic that the Eitz Chaim and the Zohar deal with. There's a creation of the master system of light of our reality is called Erech Anpin. It can be looked at it as in the form, the Rav gives us the permission to look at it as in the form of a man with a head and a body and legs. And so we could always use this metaphor because to understand the light of Erech Anpin is impossible. It's way beyond the limitations of this little brain right here that we're working with. So, but we can approach it through its clothing. And its clothing, one of the clothes is the concept of a primordial body. So that the body has some it's not an accident that there's a head, a body, and legs. So this Erech Anpin is the core of our reality. Again, one that we can't appreciate, but on the other hand, we could use the concept of our body to relate to it and what comes after it. The next thing is that Erech Anpin has to disseminate the goodness that was inside of him, which is the light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, to us. And he does this through his beard. Now, this is all things that I don't have to prove everything about the beard. I don't have to say everything about it. It's just a fact. The beard of Eric Anpin has the 13 meters of Rachamim. Now, what's a meter means? According to Kabbalah, it means a limitation of light. The whole idea is to take something which is unattainable and make it attainable. That is the light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. It's not possible for us to exist and be in the presence of that light. We're gone because it's a light of nothing. But we are something, like I said before, and so therefore you have to, or to be able to bring the light of nothing within to us. That's a very interesting thing to think about for me. You need the concept of his beard because the beard represents channels of light, which are brought downwards. Then the channels, the core of Eric Anpin is called Atzilut or Atzilus. So Atzilut, the Atzilus, is Kedusha, is the closest. Atzel means next to. So it is the most penimistic place that it's possible for the mind of a man to go. And after that, outside of it, is a concept called Bia, and another concept which is Bia, which is Bria, Yetzira, and Asiya, which are outside worlds. And then there's a concept of the Klipos, which are destructive worlds. So all of this is a whole game that the Kodesh Baruch Hu has put together for us. And that gives you a little introduction. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to record it, and then I'm going to do actually the shir itself. So this is Baruch, and we'll be back, and we'll try to work on more introductions and try to get me and you into a better understanding of where we stand in this ball in which we are standing or sitting as it is rolling over and over at a rate of 1,000 miles an hour, all rolling. Can you believe that? Think about it.